everyone. Thank you so much for joining on time. And we are very, very excited to have you. Today's session is something that many women ask me about, many people ask me, and some people are aware of it and some people are not aware of it. And when I realized how the environment makes a difference in our, by the way, are you able to hear me? I hope you are able to hear me. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. So, yes, a warm welcome to each one of you once again. So, today we are going to talk about the environmental threat that is on our hormones. And, oftentimes a lot of hormonal imbalances that we see inside of us or the diseases that we see inside of us is due to the environmental threats. So, let's just understand this well, okay? What are the environmental threats? You're going to learn about the inner environment, external environment, what are the different kinds of environment, how do we control that? And the very important thing that we are going to touch upon today is that many a times we feel that our diseases are a result of our genetics. Many people say that, my father had cancer and hence I'll have cancer. Somebody in my family had diabetes, I'll have diabetes. Well, very recent researches and studies have proven that these diseases are in our control as well. We can do things so that we can avoid these diseases. Okay, so we are going to cover all of that, and yes, and I am also going to share at the end, once I have completed whatever I have to share with you. I will also take all your questions. So whatever questions you have, health, stress, mindset, fitness, hormones, diseases, bring it on and we will answer all of that. Okay, so getting started, let me, before I get started, who am I? I am Ruma. I'm an internationally certified trainer, nutritionist, a women's fitness specialist in exercise therapy from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. Very recently, I was recognized by the Government of India, awarded by Times of India and Economic Times for my work in the area of health and fitness. And, we are an organization called Navitai. Navitai, in a beautiful union of Sanskrit and Latin, means new life. And we work with people above the age of 35 to help them become healthier, fitter, reverse their diseases. We help women with overcoming their hormonal imbalances, thyroid, PCOS, transitioning through menopause, all of that. Okay, and we have more than 4,000 people across the world in our programs right now, and they are seeing amazing results. And it gives us the biggest thing that gives us a pleasure. We are a group of health coaches. The biggest thing that gives us pleasure is when we see how people who used to come with so many diseases, a lot of body fat, inability, fatigue, mood swings, hormonal issues, stress levels, and finally, after going through the program, when they start reporting positive changes in themselves. And not just that, when they report that, Ruma, I have changed, my health is also impacting my family members, that is the best reward that we get for the services that we provide. So, okay, so with that, we'll get started. So you know what, today I'm going to use my drawing board as well so that I can explain this concept to you. First, I want to explain the concept of how diseases happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me open up a screen. And those people who are joining in now and you have a question, I will take up all your questions at the end. Okay, so I'll just take you through this entire science and mechanics behind diseases, and then we will dive into all your questions. So I'll be sharing my screen now and I'm going to draw a few things, okay? To make it very, very simple and easy for you. I'll be talking a little bit science, but I'll make it very, very simple and easy for you. So, first I'm going to show how a cell looks. Mhm. Okay. So this is a cell. Every body, so in our body, we have cells. Okay, so our entire body is made of cells. Cells make tissues are made up of cells. Okay, so if this is the cell, there is something called inside the cell is what we have. What we have is a nucleus. Okay, this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus. And what is there inside the nucleus? Inside the nucleus are the genes. Inside the nucleus are the genes. And what are genes? Genes are, like we know that, genes for every feature that we have, for every disease, the way we look, the way we talk, the diseases that we have is all encoded in the genes. And then these encodings start to express, and we see different features with different diseases in us, right? So all of you know about this concept. It's a simple one. I'm giving you a very simplistic picture of how genes work, but just trying to keep it very simple. Now, if this is the gene, now, if genes if genes were the one that was dictating our life, the scientists said that if genes was what was dictating our life, if we remove the nucleus, then what will happen? We will die, right? If this is what was dictating our life, if genes were what was dictating our life, if we remove the genes, if we remove the nucleus that carries the gene, then we should die. However, that did not happen. To the surprise of all the scientists who were doing a research on this did not happen. Instead, the cell continued to survive without a nucleus. No nucleus, but still it continued to survive. Now this became this was very, very surprising for the scientists. So what they did was they went on to do some more research. Okay, what did they do? They took from a person, they took the same kind of cell. So now every part of our body has different cell types. They are different in nature. So the eyes will have different kind of cell, my skin will have different kinds of cell, my heart is made up of different kinds of cell, bones are made of different kinds of cell, everything is made of cell. But depending upon which body part, which organ, the cells are different. So what they did was they took the scientists. Now they became very surprised. So what they did was they took the uh, the cells from the same part of the body, and what they did was they put them in three different dishes. Okay, so cells were similar cells were put in different dishes, and what did they do? They filled this up with a chemical compound. Okay, they filled this up with a chemical compound, different chemical compound. Let me maybe change the color so you will know. These all chemical compounds were different. Okay, so this one had a different chemical compound. Okay, then say this one had a different chemical compound. Each one of them had a different chemical compound, but the cells were from the exact same location of your body. And what did they say? See, this was even more surprising for the scientists. They saw that every cell exhibited a different behavior, even if they came from the same origin, even if they came from the same place, they all exhibited different behavior. What was the difference? The cells were the same, only the chemical in which they were put was different. So that led these scientists uh, to bring forward a conclusion that genes is not what decides how the cell will grow in our body. What decides it is decided by the environment. When you put them in a different chemical compound altogether, that changes um, the expression of the gene. Okay, so that was a huge breakthrough research in the field of epigenetics. So what is epigenetics? Now coming to epigenetics is nothing but beyond genes. Epigenetics means beyond genes. And what that says is that we are not dictated by our genes. Our genes, the encoding of our genes remain the same. Expression of the gene changes depending upon the environment that we are in. The genes remain the same, but how the gene will express in our body will change depending upon the environment. So then that led the scientists to next come to the next part of the discussion. What is the environment? Okay, so environment are of two kinds. One environment is the external environment, and another environment is the internal environment. So let's talk about the internal and external environment now. So what is internal environment? What is external environment? Okay. Okay. So we have now two kinds of environment. Let me again share my screen with you. Okay, my drawing is very pathetic. Okay, please do not laugh. I'm trying my best to do a nice drawing. The okay. Oh, okay, great. All right. Okay. Now, environment is of two types. One is internal, and another one is external. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the external environment because it is much more easier to understand external environment. External environment is what? External environment is what we eat, what we eat, what we breathe, what we see. So we have senses, right? So whatever we are intaking through our senses, auditory, visual, kinesthetics, the touch, smell, anything that we are taking through these senses are all external environment. What do you watch? The environment around you. What kind of an environment do you live? What kind of what kind of people you are surrounded with? All of these comes under your environment. What do you eat? The exercises that you do. So these are your external environment, which is outside of your body. That also includes the pollution, the radiations from the microwave, the radiations from your phone, this matter as well. Okay, so these are all your external environment. These are affecting the cells. The second one is the internal environment. So what is our internal environment? Internal environment is the blood in which the cell is surrounded. The entire body has blood, right? And blood takes takes food, nutrition, hormone, enzymes, coenzymes to different cells of the body. So a cell is actually dipped in blood. So the quality of your blood will determine what is floating around in your blood, will determine the expression of your gene as well. Okay, so that is environment. Your blood is your environment. And what affects the blood? The food that you eat affects the blood. The exercise that you do will affect whether you have toxins in your blood or not, whether your sugar levels are higher in your blood or not. So some of the external parameters, some of the external things are also external. What you do externally is affecting our internal environment as well. So blood is one internal environment. What is the second internal environment? You know what is that? That is our brain. The second internal environment is our brain. Now, now brain has two parts in it. One is a subconscious brain and another is a conscious brain. Okay, so let me again share my screen so that I can share this with you. So there are two parts of the brain. If it is getting too sciencey, you let me know. I will tone it down. Is this okay? Are we doing okay? Everybody understanding what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Okay. The next one is brain. Now our brain has two parts in it. Okay. So brain is part of the internal environment and has two parts in it. One is the conscious brain. Chaitali, I'll just answer Chaitali's question. Chaitali, you know what? Chaitali, you have a question. Can we speak in Hindi? You know what? I will get into Hindi right after this section. क्योंकि ना अभी जो मैं समझा रही हूँ वो इतने सारे साइंस के वर्ड्स है वो मुझे आते नहीं है कि हिंदी में मैं कैसे बताऊँ. Whenever I have to explain science, I take refuge of English because that comes naturally to me. Whatever I was educated on was in English language with cells and tissues and all of that. So request your patience through this time. When I come to the tips, what you need to do in order to do all of this, जब उस पे आएंगे हम लोग solution पे आएंगे, then I'll switch between English and Hindi. चलेगा तो लिखिए चलेगा please. Yeah, I don't want you to get demotivated through this session. Yeah, so whatever you can follow. अभी उसके बाद अभी मैं science बता रही हूँ, उसके बाद I'll come into practical implementation. Done? Yeah, okay. Everybody else comfortable with Hindi and English both? So for now we'll just continue with English for a little while till I complete this section. Okay. So now brain has two parts. Okay. Brain has a conscious part and brain has a subconscious part. There are two parts of our brain. So what is the conscious part? Conscious part is something that you know, that you can see, that you can feel, you can touch, smell, feel. That is the conscious part of our brain. So that part of the brain is here, जिसको हम बोलते हैं third eye chakra. Yeah, that is the conscious part of our brain, and this is where I am intaking, receiving information from around us, and this is where it is. That is why there is this is called the prefrontal cortex in the science world, and that is why in the Indian side, in the spiritual side, we had already identified this long back, even before the Western world identified it, and we called it the third eye chakra. So this is where it sits, the prefrontal cortex, and this is where the conscious part of the brain is. The other part of the brain is subconscious brain, and the subconscious brain has all the programs in it. Okay, what is the program? Program is something that happens automatically. एक बार कोड हो गया वो चलता रहता है. So what are the things that are happening from our subconscious mind? The breathing that you are doing, where you are not putting your conscious effort in doing that, for the processes for your body to run. When you're not putting in your conscious effort, like what are the things, if you can think of, in which you are not putting your conscious effort? Breathing, आपको conscious effort की जरूरत नहीं है. Heartbeat, we do not dictate to the heart that please start beating now or please stop beating now. नहीं बोलते ना, वो अपने आप करता है. So that is the subconscious part that is being managed by the subconscious part of our brain. Digestion will happen automatically. Digestion, indigestion दोनों automatically होते हैं. Why? And we do not send the signal to say कि stop digestion now, start digestion now. It is so the entire body, when you're sleeping also the body is functioning automatically. It is happening without our conscious intervention. So all of these things which are happening automatically in our body as a program is part of the subconscious brain, and the another part is the conscious brain. Conscious brain में हम खाना खाते हैं, exercise करते हैं, I watch TV, I pick up the phone, take mobile, all of these are conscious part of our brain. Now the subconscious part has another part of it also. It is not just the bodily functions, but the subconscious part also has another part of it, which is our behaviors. If you have noticed that there are certain things you do automatically, like brushing, आपको दिमाग नहीं लगाना पड़ता है ब्रश करने के लिए. किसी को दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है, सवेरे उठ के ब्रश करें, 10 बार बोलना पड़ता है, अच्छा अभी मैं ब्रश करूंगी, अभी मैं ब्रश करूंगा, अभी मैं ब्रश करूंगा. You have to plan your day. नहीं ना, automatically हो रहा है. So that is also coming from all of these automatic programs also coming. Now those are there are people, many of you here know driving, right? How many of you drive? Tell me in the comment box, please. Yeah, how many of you know how to drive? If you know how to drive, you will know what I'm talking about. When you will know what I'm talking about. You are driving on a street, okay, and there is somebody, you're talking to somebody in the passenger seat, and you're having a great discussion. कोई movie के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, which you loved that movie, and you're talking about that movie. Now you're not consciously putting your mind on the driving. आप drive करते जा रहे हो. Have you noticed that even when you are busy discussing the movie, when the red light comes, आप फिर भी red light पे stop करते हो? देखा है आपने कभी? या आप red light नहीं मिस करते हो? Green light देखा, चलते गए. क्या? क्यों? आप नहीं सोच रहे हो उसके बारे में, मगर फिर क्यों हो रहा है? That is the subconscious part of our brain. Now brain के ऊपर बैठा होता है आपका mind. ब्रेन तो यह हार्डवेयर है, और ब्रेन क्या करता है? ब्रेन का एक बड़ा काम है. ओके, दिस इज योर ब्रेन. टेक योर हैंड्स लाइक दिस, पुट इट ऑन योर ब्रेन. मैं अपने कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स से ना बहुत सारा ऐसा काम कराती हूँ, ठीक है? वो उन लोगों को आदत है ऐसा करने का. सो टेक योर हैंड लाइक दिस, पुट इट ऑन योर ब्रेन, and this is your brain. This is your brain. You can feel it too. It will be warm if you hold it. No, you will find it is warm. Why? It is working. तभी वो warm है, इतना ठंडा नहीं है वो. Yeah. So this is the brain. Now the brain has a unique function. Whenever you have a certain kind of an emotion, brain releases that kind of a hormone. And what are we talking about? We are talking about your hormones under attack. Yes. तो ब्रेन का एक फंक्शन है, एंड इट इज एन ऑटोमेटिक प्रोग्राम. वो भी बैठा हुआ है आपकी ही अंदर. What does it do is, whenever you feel fear, whenever you feel stress, whenever you feel anxiety, it releases one hormone called cortisol hormone. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and that cortisol hormone बर्बाद करता है हम लोगों को. थोड़ी देर के लिए ठीक है, but if it is in our body for the longest period of time, it will affect all the other hormones in our body. How does it do that? Whenever there is higher levels of cortisol in our body, it instructs our liver to push more sugar into our bloodstream, as a result of which now your blood is filled with sugar. And your cells are dipped in blood with sugar. अब आप सोचो, if sugar is a poison, what is happening to your cells? आपके सेल का पतंगड़ बन रहा है. Yeah? So this cortisol, this stress, can impact the behavior of your genes, the expression of your genes, by just changing the environment. So the brain का जो काम है, it releases hormones according to your emotions. If you are stressed, it will release adrenaline, it will release cortisol. These are all related to the stress hormone. If you are in love, if you feel loved, if you are in gratitude, if you are in forgiveness, if you live in abundance, then what does it release? It releases happy hormones. And there are multiple happy hormones. There is endorphin, there is serotonin, there is dopamine. These are all happy hormones. So whenever you are happy, your body will release hormone according to match your emotion. Okay. And whenever you have these hormones, they have a positive effect on your cell also. Okay, got it? Yeah. So till here clear? Now see the next thing. But how do you feel love? How do you feel fear? Brain को कुछ नहीं मालूम. Brain does not know. Brain is sitting there looking for instructions. उसको कुछ नहीं मालूम. वो साधु बाबा. Your brain is your sadhu baba. Take your hand like this, put it like this. Your brain is your sadhu baba. Your brain doesn't know anything. उसको बस है कि उसको instruction चाहिए. मैं stress में हूँ. Brain will go and release cortisol hormone. जा, छोड़ दिया तेरे को. You are in love, you go hug your child, you go hug your parents, you go hug your husband, wife, you go hug your father-in-law, mother-in-law. Whenever you are in that feeling, brain बोलेगा चलो डोपामिन छोड़ा, अभी चलो सेरोटोनिन छोड़ा. धूप में गए, मजा आया, सेरोटोनिन आ गया आपकी बॉडी में. Yeah, so all of this is being done by the brain. But who is sending the signal to the brain? Who sends the signal to the brain? बाहर से आ रहा है, but somebody has to interpret the signal, right? Brain cannot interpret signals. Brain को नहीं मालूम. Because I'll tell you why brain को नहीं मालूम. If brain had that intelligence, brain does not have the intelligence. If brain had that intelligence, then what would have happened is, in the same situation, if you and your friend were there, both of you will feel the same emotion. Because both of you have the same brain. Brain का construction हर का same होता है. All of us have 1 trillion neurons in our brain. Construction is the same. If the brain is the same between you and your friend, you and your husband, you and your brother, you and your sister, you and your wife, you and your son, you and your daughter, then everybody will feel the same in a given environment. When two people go to watch a movie, क्या होता है? दोनों को अच्छा लगता है. कोई बोलता है हे बर्बाद हो गया मेरा पैसा, और दूसरा बोलता है अरे पैसे वसूल हो गए. या व्हाई? ब्रेन तो दोनों का सेम है. तो कौन बता रहा है कि ब्रेन को कि ये खराब है कि अच्छा है? दैट इज द माइंड. Mind is a layer which sits on top of our brain, which takes the signal from the environment and put it inside our brain. Okay? और वो ब्रेन को बताता है कि now I am in danger, I am afraid, I am in love, I am in compassion, I am in gratitude. Brain perceives those signals and then send it to the brain. Mind perceives that signal, sends it to the brain. Okay? Now, do you now see how and then when the brain gets the signal from your mind, it will release the appropriate hormone in your body. Okay? And when now just see the entire thing coming together. Abhi aap socho. Your brain is sending a good signal to your body. Okay, and the body good signal to your brain now gets into an amazing state and releases a lot of dopamine, serotonin, good hormones in your body. And when the good hormones go to your body, your heart rate comes down. You're not in a constant state of panic or anxiety. Your heart rate comes down. You start sleeping better. When you start sleeping better, you start recovering better. Your mind is in complete peace and calm. And when your body senses that your heart rate has come down, your resting heart rate, we learned about the resting heart rate. Yes, my community members, कल ही हम लोगों ने सीखा resting heart rate के बारे में. Your resting heart rate comes down. And when the resting heart rate comes down, your heart feels safe. It feels, मैं अच्छा हूँ या अच्छी हूँ. I am doing great. You feel health inside of you, and your body starts to feel healthier. And when that happens, the cells in your body gets that signal. Your blood parameters improve, your blood sugar levels go down. So the cells are surrounded by this blood, right? And this signal is taken up by the nucleus of the cell, और उसको लगता है अरे ये तो बहुत ही अच्छे कंडीशन में है, लेट मी एग्जिबिट बेटर प्रॉपर्टीज इन हिज और हर बॉडी. तो वो अब दिखाना शुरू करता है. क्या आपको शायद ब्लड शुगर रहा होगा, बट व्हेन यू आर इन अ स्टेट ऑफ काम कंपैशन, it will lower your blood sugar levels because cortisol चला गया and it will lower your blood sugar levels. But you have to do one more thing. What? This is just your internal environment. अभी आपने internal environment बहुत अच्छा रखा, बाहर जाके क्या खा के आ गए? लड्डू, आइसक्रीम. तो वापस से आपका ब्लड शुगर लेवल बढ़ गया ना. एक्सरसाइज नहीं करे, अरे आज ना बड़ा कमर में दर्द हो रहा है, बड़ी ठंड पड़ी है, तो एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते. तो क्या होता है? वापस से your blood sugar levels are coming up, and when the blood sugar levels are coming up, the cell is again in a bad environment and it starts exhibiting, no matter how happy you are, your cells start to exhibit diseases. So now you see how your thoughts, your emotions, which is the internal part of your body, and the external environment, the food that you eat, the exercises that you do or you don't do, the sleep that you don't get or the sleep that you get, the time that you spend on your mobile, the radiations that are there all around you all the time, how that is impacting your hormones. Do you see that now? So agar now I have a question back for you. Okay, abhi aap jawab do. Kitna der main boli, आधा घंटा, अब आप मुझे बोलोगे कि tell me then, my dear people who are joining me right now, yeah, who are joining me right now, can you tell me, if these are the things that are affecting your hormones, your inside diseases and everything, what are the things that you need to change? मैंने आपको सारा आंसर दे दिया, अभी आप मुझे बताओ. Tell me. Yeah? So the answers are, आप लिखो 2 minutes. Yeah? Think about this and tell me. How will you balance your hormones then? What are the external environment? Let's identify the external things that we can do. We can clean up our food, number 1. Number 2, exercises. Yeah. Number 3, the things that we intake from the external world. What are you feeding upon? Are you feeding upon rumors, Facebooks, वो जो सारे रील्स आते हैं, स्टोरीज आते हैं, कोई काम का नहीं होता है. कोई ऐसा बार बार साड़ी डाल रही है, बार बार साड़ी डाल रही है, मेकअप कर रही है, लिपस्टिक डाल रही है, ठीक, 1-2 मिनट के लिए ठीक है, बट आई एम कॉन्स्टेंटली scrolling Facebook because और कुछ करने को नहीं है. That is what I'm feeding to my mind also, right? So the quality of information that goes inside of us also matters. Quality of information, quality of the things that we see around us, the environment. When you look around you, now I want you to take a moment to take a look around you and see whether your place is an organized place. I want you to open up your kitchen cabinet and see whether, what kind of food items do you have out there, because that will, your environment will influence the choices that you make. Agar hamara cupboard hamesha, if it always has junk food, then when I'm hungry, I'll always have junk food, right? And that environment is affecting my choices, and that choice is affecting my diseases also. It is not your genes. आपके parents ने आपको बनाया है, but they are not dictating the diseases that we have. In fact, just recently, if you read the book Outlive, you will know that, and it has been written by an MD doctor who was a doctor in Johns Hopkins University. It's a medical university, and there he was a cancer specialist, and he said that 3 diseases that is in our control. Number 1 is cancer. Number 2 are the cardiovascular diseases, the heart diseases, diabetes. Okay, cardiovascular diseases, heart diseases, there are 4. Fourth one is the cognitive diseases, the decline of our brain. And in men and women both, after a certain age, our brain function declines. You may have seen that, right? Many people, and many of you are already experiencing that. The way you were sharp, focus, concentration, memory, all of that is failing. Yeah, it is in our control. We are not born with that. And even though that is an aging process, we can help to reverse that process also by changing the external and the internal environment. So the information that you feed is part of that. Open up your cupboard and see whether it is, is there a lot of clutter? Is there a lot of disorganization? Where do you sit and read? Do you have a place to sit and read, to focus your mind? Do you have a place to sit and meditate? Do you have an environment where, it is conducive to exercise? It's not that you have to go to the gym. You can exercise in the comfort, safety, and privacy of your home as well. Do you have a place like that? So just check around and see whether you have any of that. I'm giving you a moment to see around and tell me, what do you find? Do you find an organized space, or do you find a cluttered space? If you find a cluttered space, now I want you to go a little deeper to understand how is that affecting your mind. Clutter outside brings clutter inside as well. So your outer environment starts affecting your inner environment. What are the kind of people you're surrounded with? Are they loving, kind, compassionate? Or are they, are you surrounded by toxic people, people who are never happy in your happiness? Is your workplace toxic, or is your workplace a safe and a healthy and a happy environment to work in? Are all the employees around you always cribbing about company culture? What are you surrounded with? Very, very important. Okay, so that is the external environment. Now coming to the internal environment, our internal environment is the quality of our blood. The quality of our blood is totally the quality of our blood depends upon our thoughts, emotions, beliefs. I'll talk about beliefs also. Okay, I'll talk about beliefs also. And I think I missed talking about that. And the quality of your blood is also dependent on the food that you eat, the external environment. So what are the quality? Are you a happy person? Are you a calm, confident, resilient person? Or are you a person who always have anxiety, stress, lot of overthinking? What is bothering you? What is the quality of your emotions? What are the quality of your thoughts? Are you thinking about creating a better future for yourself, a better life for yourself, for your family, going and doing the best at your workplace? Or are you someone who is constantly thinking about मेरी जिंदगी में तो कुछ होता ही नहीं है? Are you constantly thinking, notice all the wrong things going on in your life? Or are you spending more time creating a better future for yourself? What do you spend most of your time thinking? Or are you not thinking of anything at all? Are you spending a lot of time just in the day-to-day activities, khana banana, office jana, bachcho ko padhana, meetings attend karna, coming back home, whatever that may be? There is no new creativity in your mind. What kind of thoughts do you have? That is the other thing to look at. Now, one more thing, the one thing that I did not cover was the quality of your beliefs. That also decides the quality of your blood, the environment, because whatever belief we have, depending on that, we experience a situation. Now, if two people having this in a same kind of situation, both of them behave very, very differently. And they behave differently depending upon the deep seated beliefs that they have. If some person feels that I'm a lazy, inconsistent person, that person's actions will be different. तो उस person के thoughts कैसे होंगे? If a person उसको लगता है कि वो lazy है, inconsistent है, वो लोग जब सवेरे नींद से उठते हैं तो उनको क्या लगता है? अरे आज नहीं करते यार exercise. And somebody says that I'm a person who cannot control her cravings, his cravings, I fall for bad kind of food. If that is their belief about themselves, what will happen? When they go to, they will always pick the wrong, they will always make the wrong food choices, always. And they will do that knowingly because they have a belief about themselves कि यार मैं तो हूं ही ऐसा, मुझसे खाना ना खराब खाना वो नहीं होता है, right? Another thing, another way, we also interact with people based upon our beliefs. If we feel, if I'm a person who is very trustworthy, trusting, दूसरों को trust करता है, करती है या करता है, versus I was a person who doesn't trust people. Do you agree that my behavior with people will be different based upon our, if I believe that लोग मुझे, people are here to fraud me, people are here to scam me, I will behave differently with people. Versus if I feel everybody is here to help me, universe is there to take care of me, कोई मेरा fraud नहीं कर सकता, किसको क्या पड़ी मेरा fraud करेगा क्या? Do you agree that my behaviors will be different? You may have often noticed people who you will know people who do not trust others. वो जब आपसे भी बात करेंगे, when they are talking to you, you will know that they have a lot of, lot of negativity inside of them, and that is how they are behaving with other people. So our behavior with other people does not depend on them, it depends on us. It's not about how the other person is, it depends on how we are, because we are using that judgment, that जो mind में जो perception है, जो beliefs है, deep seated beliefs, we are using that to judge other people, and hence our actions, our thoughts are different, and the quality of those beliefs results in quality of our thoughts and emotions as well. So if my dear ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching this live stream, if we have to first change our health and the diseases, the first thing that we need to change is replace our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, whatever is disempowering, limiting thoughts, limiting emotions, limiting beliefs, which are stopping us from moving ahead in life. We have to replace them with empowering thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Empowering thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. So please write this down, empowering thoughts. So उसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं? How do we do that? We first start our morning. और this is चैताली जी, अभी आपके लिए tips आ रहा है सारा हिंदी में. Okay, all of you okay with Hindi, right? If you're not okay with Hindi, let me know. चैताली had put in a request long back. Okay, चैताली जी आपके लिए पहला तो है, जब आप सवेरे उठोगे, if you are part of our community, आपको मालूम है कि हम लोग सवेरे कैसे शुरू करते हैं? हम लोग सवेरे शुरू करते हैं with the dream morning practice. Okay, और ड्रीम मॉर्निंग प्रैक्टिस में हम लोग मेडिटेशन करते हैं, वी gratitude, forgiveness, all of that. It's a 30-minute thing which brings in what do you call it, the 20-20-20 power hour rule. Yeah, 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of exercise, and 20 minutes of journaling. ये तीन चीजें लाते हैं. तो journaling में we read, we do mindful activities. So as soon as we wake up in the morning, we don't rush to check our phone, we don't rush to check the news, we don't rush into the kitchen to for tea, coffee, whatever. We don't do anything. First we wake up, we first do our meditation, we do our exercise, then we journal and plan for the day. ये होता है हमारी morning की शुरुआत. And when we do that, we are in a very, very calm and a pleasant state of mind. And we do that as a community as well. Chaitali ji, अगर आप हमारी community में हैं, next week we are about to start that, the dream morning practice. It will start next week, and the boot camp right after that, which will take you through each of these practices one by one, जो मैं अभी आपको बता रही हूँ. So if you are a part of my community, आपको worry करने की जरूरत नहीं है, you are already taken care of. Now the second one then, and this is when we replace our limiting, the first one, the dream morning practice, is where we replace our limiting thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with positive, with empowering thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Okay, so we do this first thing in the morning and we are set for the day. The second thing that we need to do is, please write this down. The second tip आप सबके लिए आ रहा है, have anti-inflammatory food. ओके, एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी फूड. सो एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी फूड का लिस्ट मैं आपको इसी वीडियो के नीचे डाल दूंगी, आप लोग उसको डाउनलोड करके ले सकते हैं. इट इज कम्प्लीटली फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, सो नो स्ट्रिंग्स अटैच्ड. आप उसको डाउनलोड कर ले और खाना आप इसी के बीच में रखें. Okay, if you have, especially if you have hormone imbalances or any kind of disease, see, hormone imbalances is also a disease. The only kind of hormone imbalance which is not a disease is a woman approaching menopause. It is not a disease, it is a normal condition. But हम लोगों ने उसको disease बना दिया, ऐसा कर दिया है हमारा environment, बाहर का अंदर का, कि now our hormones are not functioning well. रात रात को हम लोग बैठ के मोबाइल देखते हैं, रात रात को बैठ के YouTube देखते हैं, Netflix देखते हैं. That blue light comes into our eyes, and you know, blue light is a huge disruptor of our entire एंडोक्रीन सिस्टम. एंडोक्रीन सिस्टम माने हार्मोन सिस्टम, पूरा डिसरप्ट करके छोड़ता है. उसके बावजूद भी हम इस ब्लू लाइट को लगा के बैठे रहते हैं. सो द नेक्स्ट वन इज दैट nutrition. Nutrition helps, and anti-inflammatory food list is below. If you are a part of my community, please do not worry about it. वो आपको ऑलरेडी मिला हुआ है, और आपको सिर्फ एंटी इन्फ्लेमेटरी मील प्लान नहीं मिला है, आपको पूरे वीक में आपको कैसे खाना है वो भी मिला है. और आप स्पार्काथॉन, यू आर गोइंग थ्रू द स्पार्काथॉन जर्नी, जहां पे हर 21 वो चलता है आपका 21 दिन के लिए, विच इज लाइव, and where you get to learn small habit each day. क्योंकि हम ना एक दिन में सारा चेंज करेंगे ना, then we will do it only for फर्स्ट मंथ, उसके बाद नहीं होगा. वी आर हियर टू बिल्ड सस्टेनेबल हैबिट्स. तो इसके लिए ना सब कुछ एक साथ मत करिए, छोटा छोटा हैबिट्स लेके कीजिए, जो हम लोग स्पार्काथॉन में करते हैं. इफ यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ माय कम्युनिटी, ऑलरेडी नो दैट कि हम सारा कुछ एक साथ नहीं करते. वी टेक वन स्मॉल स्टेप एवरी डे, बट वी वर्क टुवर्ड्स कंसिस्टेंसी, सो दैट ना ऐसा नहीं हो कि आज आज हीरो कल जीरो. हमको हमेशा हीरो ही बने रहना है. या सो दैट इज व्हाट स्पार्काथॉन इज फॉर. सो न्यूट्रिशन, please pick up the anti-inflammatory diet plan from the link, anti-inflammatory food list from the link below. Second is exercise, all kinds of movements, and all my so what are the different exercises you should do? 5 pillars of physical fitness. Number 1, cardiovascular exercises, which will enhance the health of your heart. Number 2, strength exercises, flexibility exercises, balance and posture. 5 kinds of exercises you have to do. कितना टाइम लगता है? ज्यादा नहीं. मेरे कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स जानते हैं, just for the last 3 days we have been doing all of these exercises, just 10 minutes. ऐसा नहीं कि आपको घंटा घंटा निकालना है. Just 10 minutes in the comfort, privacy and safety of your home, you can achieve that. Instead of doing anything when you are traveling, instead of doing nothing, it is better to do something. WHO guideline is 30 to 40 minutes of moderate intensity exercises 6 days a week. However, if you cannot do 30 minutes, 10 minute kar lo aap. And just walking will not help, just yoga will not help. You have to bring in all of these cardiovascular exercises, strength, flexibility, balance and posture. All 5 of this should be a part of your fitness regime. And and those people who joined the session yesterday, my community members, you already know the 5 pillars of fitness, and we are also going through that in the Sparkathon, right? So that is number 3. The number 4 is sleep. We need 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. हर रात को ना 7 से 8 घंटा सोने की कोशिश कीजिए, और 11 बजे से पहले सोइए. क्योंकि ना उससे क्या होता है, हमारा जो सर्काडियन रिदम है, हमारी जो बॉडी जिस तरह से काम करती है, सूरज के साथ उगती है, फिर सूर्यास्त के साथ नीचे जाती है, दिस वन इज फॉलोड वेल जब आप 11 बजे के पहले सो जाओगे. ओके, 11 बजे से पहले सोने की कोशिश कीजिए, एंड ट्राई टू हैव अ गुड स्लीप. इफ यू आर समवन हु इज रियली स्ट्रगलिंग विद स्लीप, वी हेल्प पीपल विद स्लीप आल्सो, एंड देयर आर सर्टेन मॉड्यूल्स वेयर बोले बहुत सारे हमारे चैनल पे फ्री स्लीप पे कैसे आपका स्लीप आप एनहांस करेंगे, सारा बहुत फ्री वीडियोस है. आप यहाँ पे सर्च कर सकते हो और मालूम कर सकते हो कि आप अपना स्लीप कैसे इंप्रूव करोगे. बट उसके पहले आपको इस चैनल पे सब्सक्राइब करना पड़ेगा. तो पहले before sharing the next 2 tips, can you quickly go and subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss out on all of these important information that we share. जल्दी से 2 मिनट सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए, और उसके बाद I'll give you the next 2 tips. Okay? ಕನ್ನಡ, ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಾ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. Especially these kind of topics, I find it a little difficult in Kannada. Yeah. In fact, Kannada is beginner level. I tried going to class. I have gone through because I used to teach children in the slum area, and they couldn't understand English and Hindi. They knew only Kannada. So I went back to enrolled myself in a class, Kannada class. And Raghavendra sir was my teacher, and he taught me nice Kannada. But then you know what happens in Bangalore? I start speaking in Kannada, and because I speak slow, they will say, they'll start in Hindi or English. So I need to practice more. Okay, but very soon. Wonderful world. Okay, done. Okay, the next two tips are sleep. The next one is stress management. The quality of your thoughts. Are you a person who has high levels of stress? You're surrounded by toxic people, you are surrounded in a toxic environment. How do you deal with that? In often cases, no, if the toxicity is coming from very close people, oftentimes you cannot get rid of them, right? Then we need to learn how to deal with them. Environment also the same. Say for example, the job that you are doing, आप जो नौकरी कर रहे हो उससे आपका घर चल रहा है, आप आपके बिल्स भर रहे हैं, बच्चों के स्कूल हो, आप बच्चों को स्कूल कॉलेज भेज रहे हो, आप वो जॉब नहीं छोड़ सकते जब तक आपको दूसरा और जॉब नहीं मिलेगा. तो इस जॉब में, इस नौकरी में आप किस तरह से अपने आप को, हाउ कैन यू डील विद दिस नेगेटिविटी, राइट? सो दैट स्किल इज needed to deal with negativity so that your stress levels can go down. Because remember one thing, हमारी ना स्ट्रेस कभी कमती नहीं है. स्ट्रेस विल ऑलवेज बी देयर बिकॉज दैट इज द वे लाइफ इज. हमको जो सीखना है, दैट इज how to deal with stress, how to deal with toxic people, how to deal with toxic circumstances, how to deal with non-supportive people, how to deal with detached people. ये सब हमको सीखना पड़ेगा. So those are the skills you will need to learn, जो हम हमारे प्रोग्राम में सिखाते हैं in the higher level. So those people who are in our community, our diamond members are learning this every single day. क्योंकि स्ट्रेस ना एक दिन में जाता नहीं है. आपके कंडीशंस नहीं चेंज होते हैं जब तक हम अपने आप को तैयार नहीं करते to start dealing with that stress. Okay, so that is the next level. Sleep, stress. The fifth one is gut health. How, in our gut, जो हमारे digestive system है, हमारा जो digestive system है, हमारे body में ना 3 nervous system है. एक है central nervous system, वो हमारे यहाँ से काम करता है. दूसरा है हमारा PNS, parasympathetic nervous system, called the PNS, वो यहाँ पे काम करता है. तीसरा है हमारे पेट पे काम करता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द एंटेरिक नर्वस सिस्टम. तो आप देखो ये ना तीनों जो है कनेक्टेड है. आपकी जो इमोशंस है, आपकी जो थॉट्स है, वो आपके, तो देखो आप मुझे देख पा रहे हो इस रिश्ते को. इधर है आपका ईएनएस, आपके पेट में बैठा हुआ है. इधर है आपका पीएनएस जो आपके हार्ट पे बैठा हुआ है, और इधर है आपका सीएनएस जो आपके ब्रेन में है. तो इसका ना ट्रायज है, ये ट्रायंगल लव स्टोरी. ठीक है, तो आपका यहाँ पे जो हो रहा है, आपके पेट में अगर गड़बड़ी चल रही है, तो वो जाके आपके दिमागी संतुलन पे भी अफेक्ट करेगा. दोज पीपल हु डू नॉट हैव अ गुड माइक्रोबायोटा, दे आल्सो आर पीपल हु हैव लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेस एंड एंजाइटी. एंड दोज पीपल हु हैव स्ट्रेस एंड एंजाइटी, दे हैव प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक आईबिस, दे हैव प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक लीकी गट. ये सारे स्ट्रेस से आते हैं. एंड नॉट ओनली दैट, आपका जो ये हमारे जो पेट में यहाँ बैठा हुआ है ना, द ईएनएस, which is our entire digestive system, यहाँ पे बहुत तरह की माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स होती हैं. माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म क्या है? जो हम अपने आंखों से नहीं देख पाएंगे, इतनी छोटी होती है वो, मगर वो हमारे पेट के संतुलन को बनाए रखती है. और ये जो पेट का संतुलन है इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि उससे जो है हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम बेहतर रहता है, आपको बीमारी नहीं लगेगी. अगर पेट का संतुलन गया तो बस गए, इम्यून सिस्टम गया. और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि हम जो खाते हैं, अगर आपने अच्छा खाना खा भी लिया, अगर आपका पेट का संतुलन ठीक नहीं, तो आपका खाना तो हजम ही नहीं होगा, वो तो आपका अब्सॉर्ब ही नहीं करेगा. और अगर अब्सॉर्ब नहीं किया तो आपका हार्मोनल बैलेंसेस होने वाली है ना. तो काफी समय आपने नोटिस किया होगा कि आप खाना तो अच्छा खा रहे हैं, मगर आपके पेट से हजम नहीं हो रहा है. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच आपका जो आपका सेहत अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, आपकी इम्यून सिस्टम नहीं बढ़ रही है, आपके हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस ठीक नहीं हो रहा है, आपका पीसीओडी, आपका डायबिटीज, कोलेस्ट्रॉल हो गया, थायराइड हो गया, कुछ का रिजॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ का संतुलन आपका बिगड़ा हुआ है, पेट का संतुलन बिगड़ा हुआ है. तो उसको संतुलन में लाना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड नॉट जस्ट दैट, काफी सारे हॉर्मोन्स जो हैं हमारे, वो पेट में उसका जन्म होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द हैप्पी हार्मोन सेरोटोनिन, उसका जन्म पेट में होता है. देयर आर फ्यू मोर हार्मोन्स जो पेट के लिए है, लेप्टिन, ग्रेलिन, ये सारे हमारे पेट के हार्मोन है. तो हमारा पेट का संतुलन बिगड़ा होता है तो पूरा बॉडी का संतुलन ही बिगड़ा होता है. उसके ऊपर अगर हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस है, पेट पेट का संतुलन हमने ठीक नहीं किया तो हमारे हॉर्मोन्स और हमारे डिजीज कभी सब इस पे नहीं आएंगे। तो क्या क्या हुआ फिर? हमारा पहला है माइंड। रिमूव आर फर्स्ट सेटअप योर माइंड वेल, सो दैट वॉट एवर यू आर परसीविंग फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड, जो आपको बाहर से आ रही है वो शुद्ध रूप में आपके अंदर जा रही है। किसी आदमी ने आपके लिए कुछ अच्छा किया और आपको लगा अरे ये तो मेरे पीछे पड़ा हुआ है, तो जो आपके अंदर गया वो अशुद्ध गया। जो उस आदमी ने, उस औरत ने शायद आपके भले के लिए किया हो, मगर हम अगर सोचने बैठे अरे मेरे पीछे तो पूरी दुनिया पड़ी है, सारा सब लोग मुझे लूटने के लिए आ रहे हैं, तो आपके जो अंदर भी जा रही है वो अशुद्ध अशुद्ध थॉट्स अंदर जा रही हैं। और जब वो होता है ना, शरीर का संतुलन बिगड़ता है। तो सबसे पहले हमको इसको क्लीन करना पड़ेगा। इस जगह को हम जब क्लीन करेंगे, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, व्हेन द फ्रूट हैज अ प्रॉब्लम, डोंट ट्राई टू फिक्स द फ्रूट, फिक्स द रूट। हमारा सारा रूट यहाँ पे है, तो इसको हम पहले फिक्स करते हैं। जब ये फिक्स होता है, देन द नेक्स्ट वन दैट यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन इज योर न्यूट्रिशन, क्योंकि ये ठीक नहीं है ना, क्या भी आप खाना खा लो नहीं काम करेगा, नहीं काम करेगा। क्या भी आप एक्सरसाइज कर लो, आप अच्छा खाना खाते हो, आप अच्छी एक्सरसाइज करते हो, बट सारा दिन चिड़चिड़ाते रहते हो, सारा दिन लगता है कि लोग मेरा मेरा लेने आए हैं, मैं किसी को ट्रस्ट नहीं कर सकती, लोग मुझे सपोर्ट नहीं करते। अगर सारा दिन इस तरह के ख्यालात आते रहेंगे तो ना जाने आप कितना अच्छा खाना खा लो, कितनी अच्छी आप एक्सरसाइज कर लो, नहीं नहीं ठीक होगा। तो दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप। उसके बाद है खाना, योर न्यूट्रिशन। द थर्ड इज एक्सरसाइज, स्ट्रेंथ एक्सरसाइज, all the 5 kinds of exercises that I shared with you. Sleep, stress management, and gut health. Okay, so these are the 6 things that we need to take care of. These are the pillars of good health through which we can balance our hormones. Okay, so with that, एक घंटा बग बग करी मैं, देखो this was a long topic, but if you have, I have come to the end of today's session. And once again, who am I? I'm Ruma. I'm a certified fitness trainer, nutritionist, women's fitness specialist, specialist in exercise therapy from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. I'm going through another specialization on stress and sleep recovery to help my community members more and spread more knowledge around in people around us. And we were recognized by the government of India, awarded by Times of India and Economic Times for our work in the area of health and fitness. Jaldi se subscribe kare so that you do not miss out on such important sessions. We do conduct YouTube live every week. Kabhi Thursday ko hota hai, kabhi Friday ko hota hai. We conduct it every week. So, and now I'm ready to take your questions. Okay, jaldi se subscribe kare so that you can be here with us. And I will take your questions now. Okay. Nirja is saying some toxic people around, right? Yes. So if the toxic people are around, Nirja, the one thing that we need to do is to, deal with those toxic people. Yeah. And Nirja, you are a part of our community, so you already know how to do that. We have just launched a brand new set of all the, it's not just toxic people, there are a lot of other things also. So we use NLP to help people deal with toxic people. Okay. Yeah. All right. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comment window and I'll be happy to answer that. And you can put any question to me, whether it is health related, whether it is mind related, people related, kuch bhi, because we have to deal with everything. Kabhi kabhi, when we started, I'll tell you some interesting story. When we started, I started with exercising because I have been exercising for the last 28 years now. Yes, 28, 27, 28 years now. And I started exercising when I was in university. Tab tak I never stopped exercising, through my pregnancy, right after delivery. I've continued to exercise. And then when we started Navita, we started only with exercises. I used to train people on exercises. But then as I started, I started gaining more and more knowledge, more and more experience with people, working with people. I realized that khana is just a very small part of it. There are so many other things where people are struggling. And as we moved forward, we realized one more thing. Gyan se kuch nahi hota hai if we cannot help people with implementation. Many of you may have noticed that you get lot of gyan from YouTube channels, right? Lot of gyan. आज मैं भी आपको आके ज्ञान देके चली जा रही हूँ, है ना? But इस ज्ञान का आप करोगे क्या? How do you implement this ज्ञान in a step-by-step process? जहाँ पे जाके बहुत लोग struggle करते हैं. And when we are left on our own, we struggle even more because I don't know how to implement this. ज्ञान तो बहुत मिल गया. मुझे मालूम है खाना क्या खाना है, एक्सरसाइज क्या करनी है, सोना भी 11 बजे है, मुझे मालूम है 7 घंटे सोना है, बट रूमा मुझसे होता नहीं है यार. सोना मैं सोने जाती हूँ बट नींद खुल जाती हूँ, तो मैं क्या करूँ क्या? स्ट्रेस हम बोलते हैं कि अरे स्ट्रेस मैनेज करना चाहिए, स्ट्रेस मैनेज करना चाहिए. आप बोलोगे रूमा मैं कोशिश तो करती हूँ बट होता नहीं है. नहीं समझते कि मैं करूं क्या. पूरे दिमाग को ठीक रखा, सडनली किसी ने आके दिस पर्सन कीप्स बॉदरिंग मी, मेरा मैनेजर आके मुझ पे चिल्लाना शुरू कर दिया. रूमा मैं करूं क्या उस हालत में? या सो इट इज वेरी इजी, ज्ञान इज वेरी इजी टू गिव, बट टू मेक पीपल इम्प्लीमेंट. कितने लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है आप लोगों की? रूमा ज्ञान बहुत है मेरे पास बट मुझसे इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं होता है ना? ये भी हमने देखा है. वी हैव ऑल्सो नोटिस्ड दैट, वी हैव ऑल्सो नोटिस्ड वन मोर थिंग कि सब कुछ ठीक है, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, आपके पास ज्ञान भी है, आपकी एनवायरनमेंट भी अच्छी है, बट यू लैक कंसिस्टेंसी. कुछ भी थोड़ा सा होता है, आज थोड़ा मूड बिगड़ गया, आज एक्सरसाइज नहीं करूंगी, आज ना थोड़ा ठंड ज्यादा हो गया, आज एक्सरसाइज नहीं करूंगी, आज ना बच्चे का एग्जाम आ गया, आज उसको पढ़ाना है, आज एक्सरसाइज नहीं करूंगी, आज अच्छा खाना नहीं खाऊंगी, आज ना थोड़ा जलेबी खाने का मन कर लिया तो जलेबी खाती रह गई, आज ना थोड़ा रात को ना थोड़ा बोर्डम फील हो रहा था तो 2 बजे बैठ के नेटफ्लिक्स देखते देखते थोड़ा खाना खा लिया, है ना? होता है ना. सो दीज आर ह्यूमन थिंग्स ना. हमारा व्हाट वी स्टार्टेड नोटिसिंग वाज जस्ट नॉलेज से लोगों को कुछ नहीं होता है. नॉलेज देने के लिए बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, बट हेल्पिंग पीपल इम्प्लीमेंट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी फोकस ऑन. मैंने आपको ज्ञान जरूर इतना दिया होगा, बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट वर्किंग विद अस यू विल रियलाइज दैट छोटा 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 हम स्टेप्स करते हैं हर दिन. अभी हमारा स्पार्कथॉन चल रहा है जहां पे यू गेट ओनली वन एक्टिविटी टू डू ऑन दैट डे. एक ही करो, बस 10 मिनट निकालो. वी से कि आपको ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं, आप बस 10 मिनट निकालो. एक्सरसाइज करोगे 10 मिनट करो, आपको खाने के लिए प्रिपरेशन करनी है 10 मिनट के लिए करो. और हम उनको इस तरह की गाइडेंस देते कि जो बहुत सिंपल जल्दी जल्दी हो जाए, क्योंकि इट इज नॉट इजी टू चेंज हैबिट. आप एक तरह से बड़े हुए हो. हम हमारे हमारे जनरेशन के, अगर आप हमारे जनरेशन को, आई एम 50, क्लोज टू 50 नाउ, अगर आप हमारी जनरेशन से बिलोंग करते हो तो उस टाइम पे कोई एक्सरसाइज के बारे में नहीं बोलता था. स्पेशली लेडीज में एक्सरसाइज तो छोड़ ही दो. हम लोग बड़े नहीं हुए हैं इस हैबिट से कि हमको एक्सरसाइज करनी है. इस हैबिट से भी हम बड़े नहीं हुए कि हमको अच्छा खाना खाना है. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट देयर इज सो मच ऑफ इंटरनेट का जो इन्फ्लुएंस है हम लोगों के ऊपर, इन सब के कारण, और जो मोबाइल्स वगैरह का इन्फ्लुएंस आया, इन सब के चलते हमारी पूरी लाइफस्टाइल चेंज हो गई है. उसको चेंज करना उतना आसान नहीं है, एंड दैट इज एक्जैक्टली व्हाट वी फोकस ऑन. छोटा छोटा चेंज एवरी सिंगल डे विच हेल्प्स यू बिल्ड कंसिस्टेंसी एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी. देखो कोई भी प्रोग्राम ना आप 6 महीना करोगे, आपको रिजल्ट्स आएंगे, बट उसके बाद क्या? तो ये स्किल आपको सीखनी पड़ेगी ना. कैसे मैं स्ट्रेस मैनेज करूं, कैसे मैं अपना स्लीप मैनेज करूं इन डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन, हाउ कैन आई स्टिल एक्सरसाइज, हाउ कैन आई स्टिल ईट व्हेन आई एम ट्रैवलिंग, हाउ कैन आई पिक द राइट फूड चॉइसेस. ये होता है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कराना. या सो दैट इज व्हाट वी डू. वी स्पेशलाइज इन दैट टू हेल्प पीपल इम्प्लीमेंट विद मेकिंग स्मॉल चेंज एवरी सिंगल डे सो दैट इट डजंट बिकम ओवरवेलमिंग. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, मैम आपकी डाइट प्लान से थायराइड कम होगा मैम और डिप्रेशन भी ठीक होगा मैम? डाइट प्लान से नहीं होगा वंडरफुल वर्ल्ड, जिससे डाइट प्लान से सिर्फ नहीं होगा. न्यूट्रिशन, मैंने जैसे बताया, न्यूट्रिशन, एक्सरसाइज, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट, स्लीप मैनेजमेंट, गट हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, ये पांचों जो है आपके पिलर्स है. बट ये 5 पिलर को एड्रेस करने से पहले एड्रेस करना पड़ता है उसके ऊपर बैठा हुआ हमारा ब्रेन और माइंड, क्योंकि ये सारा चीज यहां से ना, ये आपका रिमोट कंट्रोल, सुपर कंट्रोल है. दिस इज योर पावर कंट्रोल. यहां से सब कुछ कंट्रोल होता है, तो इसको पहले हम ठीक करते हैं. ठीक है. या सो इससे होता है हमारा जो थायराइड का भी. वंडरफुल वर्ल्ड, मुझे नहीं मालूम आप हमारी ऑलरेडी कम्युनिटी में हो कि नहीं, बट अगर आप हो तो आपको ऑलरेडी मालूम पड़ रहा होगा कि इन सारी चीजों पे हम काम करते हैं, है ना, और करवाते हैं. हम भी काम करते हैं, आपसे भी करवाते हैं, क्योंकि ज्ञान देना बहुत आसान है, ज्ञान पाना बहुत आसान है, करना मुश्किल होता है, निभाना मुश्किल होता है। हम सिखाते हैं, निभाते कैसे हैं। चैताली सिंह, मैं पैनिक अटैक के एंगर इश्यूज, सो आई टेक मेडिसिन, इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर द मेडिसिन टू स्टॉप? ये ना पूरा डिपेंड करता है आपका, मतलब हाउ डीप इज योर न्यूरोलॉजिकल, हाउ डीप इज योर न्यूरोलॉजिकल थिंग। सी, वी आर नॉट साइकोलॉजिस्ट, है ना, तो मैं बोलती भी नहीं हूँ हम लोग साइकोलॉजिस्ट है, बट इफ यू आर अ पर्सन हु फाइंड्स इट डिफिकल्ट टू डील विद सिचुएशन, वी हेल्प विद दैट। अगर आप पैनिक अटैक के लिए मेडिसिन पे हो, देन इट इज ऑलवेज बेटर। हमारा प्रोग्राम करते हुए भी उसका हम आपको गारंटी नहीं देते। देखो, मैं ना जो बोलती हूँ सच बोलती हूँ, मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगी कि हम आपका सब कुछ कर देंगे, या बट वी नो इन ऑर्डर टू हेल्प योर हेल्थ, वी हैव टू हेल्प यू विद स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट, स्लीप मैनेजमेंट, खाना। तो चैताली, आप ये सब जब फॉलो करोगे, खाने का, एक्सरसाइज करने का, ऑटोमेटिकली ना ये जो आपकी पैनिक है, आपकी स्ट्रेस है, ऑटोमेटिकली धीरे धीरे कम होगी। एंड व्हेन वी स्टार्ट वर्किंग विद योर माइंड एंड एनएलपी, आपको दिखेगा कि किस तरह से ना आपको और बेहतर लगता है। मतलब यू विल बी एबल टू मैनेज योर इमोशंस बेटर। हम कंट्रोल करने के लिए नहीं बोलते कि आपको बहुत गुस्सा आ रहा है, बहुत गुस्सा आ रहा है, हम बोले नहीं तो पकड़ के रखो, पकड़ के रखो, नहीं होता है। यू नो, आपकी बॉडी से आ रही है वो, आपके ब्रेन की सिग्नल से आ रही है, वो नहीं होती है। बट आप जो सीखोगे कि जब ऐसा अटैक आ रहा है तो मैं उसको कैसे डील करूं, वो आप हमारे से बहुत अच्छा सीखोगे। या दैट इज हाउ, दैट इज वेयर वी स्पेशलाइज। It is true. अच्छा मैम, आई हैव फ्रीक्वेंट हेडेक, कैन यू प्लीज सजेस्ट समथिंग, एंड आई हैव थायराइड ट्यू। रीता का क्वेश्चन है, फ्रीक्वेंट हेडेक। सो रीता, आपको तो पहले देखना पड़ेगा कि आपके ये जो हेडेक है, वो मतलब आप रात को, पहले तो आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा आपको हेडेक किस लिए होती है। आपने रात को सोया नहीं, इसलिए आपको अगले दिन हेडेक हो रही है, या तो काफी लोगों को ना गैस से हेडेक होती है। सोचो आपको ना, आपने कुछ खाना खा लिया और उससे आपको गैस हो गई, एंड दैट विल गो एंड आपको हेडेक देती है। सेकेंड इज इफ यू हैव हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंसेस, स्पेशली नियरिंग मेनोपॉज, अगर आप 50 के आसपास के हो, इफ यू आर इन द एज रेंज ऑफ 40 to 50 और आपको हेडेक आ रही है, तो आप देखना वो ना, दैट कैन बी रिलेटेड टू योर मेनोपॉज ऑल्सो। अगर वो मेनोपॉज से रिलेटेड है, बिकॉज यू आर इन पेरी मेनोपॉज, अगर मेनोपॉज से, पेरी मेनोपॉज से रिलेटेड है, देन यू नीड टू यू नो स्टार्ट बैलेंसिंग हार्मोन, जैसे मैंने आपको बताई, जो सारी बताई उससे करो। चौथा है, मैंने जो जो भी आपको स्टेप्स बताए, जैसे आप मेडिटेशन, तो 20-20-20 पावर आवर रूल, मेडिटेशन, एक्सरसाइज, जर्नलिंग। हर सवेरे उठ के आप लिखो कि आज आपको कैसा लग रहा है, आपके थॉट्स लिखो, आपको क्या करना है लिखो, किस तरह का थॉट आज आप, यू नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ थॉट्स एंड इमोशंस यू वांट टू कल्टीवेट। तो हमारे कम्युनिटी में हम क्या कराते हैं, हर सवेरे हम लोग उठ के पहले डिसाइड करते हैं आज मैं किस तरह का इमोशंस रखूंगी और रखूंगा। Do I want to be calm? Do I want to be inspiring? Do I want to be composed? Do I want to be chilled? Do I want to be relaxed? Do I want to be happy? Do I want to be excited? तो हम डिसाइड ही कर लेते हैं सवेरे कि आज मेरा सारा दिन मैं ऐसी रहूंगी। तो अगर मैंने डिसाइड किया कि सारा दिन एनर्जेटिक रहूंगी, तो सारा दिन हम एनर्जेटिक काम करते हैं, जोर जोर से बात करते हैं, दौड़ दौड़ के काम करते हैं, लोगों से बहुत बात करते हैं, घुलते मिलते हैं, फोन उठा के सबसे बात करते हैं, तो बहुत एनर्जी दिखाते हैं। कभी भी किसी को देख लिया तो हेलो, हाउ आर यू, गुड मॉर्निंग। तो हम क्या करते हैं, वी प्रैक्टिस इमोशंस ऑल्सो। या तो ये आप करना सीखो, क्योंकि ना सवेरे का जो समय होता है वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे माइंड का संतुलन बनाने के लिए। वो टाइम अगर आपने ठीक कर लिया और अगर आपने हार्मोन्स अपनी बैलेंस कर ली, तो आपको कभी हेडेक नहीं आएगा। हमारी कम्युनिटी में लेडीज आती हैं माइग्रेन का, अजी इतना डिफिकल्ट माइग्रेन प्रॉब्लम्स लेके आती हैं कि वो 3,500 रुपीज एवरी मंथ दे स्पेंड ऑन पेन किलर्स, और यहाँ आने के बाद उनका पूरा माइग्रेन चला जाता है, बिकॉज वी जस्ट डू नॉट फोकस ऑन फूड एंड एक्सरसाइज। हम पूरा जो है ना होलिस्टिक पे काम करते हैं। ठीक है, होप दैट हेल्प्स। जनरल डाइट फॉर द डे, हाँ ठीक है। तो जैसे आपने ये किनका क्वेश्चन है, रेणुका। अच्छा, जनरल डाइट फॉर द डे रेणुका, यू कैन स्टार्ट योर मॉर्निंग विद डिटॉक्स वाटर। डिटॉक्स वाटर में क्या होता है, आपने लेमन जूस ले लिया, उससे बहुत अच्छी डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन होती है। अगर आपको एसिडिटी की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो यू कैन स्टार्ट विथ इधर दैट, और अगर आपको एसिडिटी की प्रॉब्लम है, यू कैन स्टार्ट विथ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अ घी, coconut oil, half a teaspoon of ghee and coconut oil and lukewarm water, and you can have that. That's a great detox also. Okay, so that is one. After that you have breakfast, और हम लोग ना ये वाली रूल फॉलो करते हैं हमारे कम्युनिटी में, 1 grain, pick your grain, Grain can be ragi, rava, jawar, bajra, quinoa, oats, कुछ भी. One grain. One protein. Protein में आ गया आपका पनीर, tofu, chicken, fish, egg. One vegetable. It can be either cooked or salad. तो vegetable में आपको आपने जैसे हम right now we are staying in South India, so we make palyas, right? Some sambar will be there with a lot of vegetables in it. तो घर का खाना खाइए आप. बाहर आपको कुछ exotic नहीं है. आप हमको बाजार में जो मिलता है उसी का खाना खाइए आप. And then you have some vegetable sabji, or if you are making sambar, then add a lot of vegetables in that and have a bowl of salad. ये हमारा हर breakfast, lunch and dinner हम यही खाते हैं. एक grain रहता है, एक salad रहती है, एक protein रहता है. तो आपने ये कर लिया, बस ये this is your meal. So breakfast, depending upon your time, what time you wake up, you can organize your breakfast. Lunch should be around, anywhere between 12 to 2 is a good time. Dinner, try to finish by 7. Best is to finish by with the sunset, but agar aapse nahi ho pa raha hai, you are going to office, you have small children, they come back home and you have to help with them, then 7:30 is good. Have your family dinner. Dinner hamesha khushi se karna chahiye. If you are ever sad, you are angry, you are anxious, please don't have your dinner at that time. Postpone it. Meditate. Bring your emotions under manage your emotions. Then you sit for food. Whenever you are eating, you should eat with a very, very happy thought. Only then you will be able to digest that food better and you will be able to improve your health. Okay? So this you follow, and before going to bed, you can have a cup of buttermilk. Yeah, hope that helps. Okay. Any other question? Wonderful, wonderful. Great. It was wonderful talking to each one of you, answering all your questions. Hope you found this valuable. And those people who missed the session, and if you're watching it later, you can always keep your questions for us in the comment box and we will answer for you. So once again, thank you so much for joining in and take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.